and welcome back to Tiny Home Simple Life. I know we've been away for a little while, but I did take a break for the holidays, and now it's time to get back to work. But as you can see, I live in New England and it snows here, and winter has set in really deep right now. So we're in the middle of a snowstorm, and I think that today perhaps we should try some indoor tasks. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try to attack some of the curtains and go over some other things, and so that's what we're gonna do today. Let me get inside and go where it's warm, and I will be right back. So since the weather's not cooperating with us outside, I figured we'd do something inside today. So I thought it might be fun to show you some of the things I got this Christmas. And I'm gonna start with this right here. This, in this little tiny bag right here, believe it or not, is a tea kettle, an electric tea kettle. And it is the cutest thing ever. And this is going to be a space saver and so beneficial in that camper. So it's literally this small. This is the cord for it. It plugs in right here. And this comes all the way. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it. Might have. So what we do is right here, you see there's this little button right here. And what I do is I press down on that, and when I do, this handle pops out. It's hard to do it with one hand, so when the handle pops out, this, see how it's collapsed? This will open up and become a nice little tea kettle. Look at that. And this is the handle for it. So it goes, see this little hole right here? It goes in this little hole here, pops in, and then it slides into this thing over here. So you go from down below, in here, then you raise it up, and then it slides right into that thing, and you have this cute, amazing little tea kettle. See that? It's all metal inside. This is going to be so helpful in that camper because, of course, there's no hot water. So this way, I'll be able to heat up water. I can do dishes in the camper, and I'll be able to heat up water for tea, and it takes up like no space. So this is very beneficial. So I'm very excited about this. Because in a camper that size, you need to save as much space as you possibly can. So to collapse it, you just push it down. It's that easy, and it goes right back. And then it goes right into its little case after that. The little handle attaches on here. It's totally cool. I really like this a lot. So this is going to be a very big help. All right, so that's one thing that I got. And then, and this came from my kids, I got these cute little kitchen towels. And they are absolutely adorable. Look at that. They have campers on them. Isn't that really cool? So it says, "This is how we roll," right on it. And then it has a matching one that has a camping scene on it. So this, considering the color scheme that I picked for inside the camper, these are going to be absolutely adorable in there. I can't wait to get it all set up. So that's two things that I got. And then I have some safety things because it's important to be safe when you're in your camper. One of the things is actually down there already, so I can't show it to you, but it's an ABC fire extinguisher. And that's gonna help no matter which type of fire it is. And that's important to have, and it's important to have it handy. In a camper that size, I felt like it's okay to have just one, but in essence, it's probably best to have two, so maybe one over by the bed and then another one over by the door. So I might end up getting a second one eventually, but for now, one of them down there is plenty for now. And so, in going along with that safety line, I also have this right here. Now, this is not just a smoke detector, it's also a carbon monoxide alarm. So this will detect smoke, heat, and carbon monoxide so you can stay safe in the camper, especially where there might be some heat running or whatever. And of course there's the propane. So it's always best to be safe and to know if there's a problem, because you can't smell carbon monoxide. So this will be installed somewhere in that camper. I'm not sure exactly where yet, but I'm gonna figure that out. And these are all things that they can be done during the winter time, which is really nice. I'm gonna spend some serious time out there very, very soon. I know I've neglected my channel for a little while. I took a little bit of a hiatus for the holiday, and now I'm getting back on track again. So you'll start seeing regular posts from me again. This first video back, I think, will be probably a short one, but after this it's back to getting to work. So I have some painting that I believe I can get done in the garage. So I'm gonna bring some of the pieces into the garage, like the cabinet fronts, the drawers, that sort of thing, and I'm gonna wipe those out and get those done so that we can get those installed inside the camper. I have some changes to do to some of the electrical that I did. So for those of you who are curious about that, there were a couple of questions regarding the way that I did the electric in the previous video, and I wanted to let everyone know that the reason that some of that was done the way it was because of supply issues. So I wanted to get the video out there, and I will go through the things that weren't done, and I will show you that I have done them at this point, and it wasn't an oversight so much as a supply issue. So I will go through that probably in the next video. The next thing that I have is this right here. And this, if you can see the back here, these are tiles that are, technically they're self-adhesive. So they look just like miniature ceramic tiles. They're really, really cool. And they have an adhesive that goes on the wall. However, because it's a camper and because there will be so many temperature fluctuations in the camper, I am going to use some regular adhesive to get these on the wall and not just rely on the cheap adhesive that they come with. These are going to look really, really great in the area that I am going to convert to a bathroom. And that area is on the side where the electrical box is. So where the circuit breaker box is that you've seen me working in there, I am going to get some sort of a toilet worked out. We are going to go through a lot of the options that we have for toilets. So I might make a whole video out of that, because there are a lot of pros and cons to each one of the options, and it would be good to be able to go through all those with you. And maybe I'll ask you guys what you think I should go with and why you think I should go with it, because I would love some feedback from everyone. So next up, I have this rope light. And this rope light is not just any rope light. It is a solar powered rope light, and this has multiple different colors in it, and it has multiple patterns that it can have. And I am going to, on the awning that I'm going to make, I am going to line the inside of the awning with this, and I think it would look really, really cool. And it'll help me know exactly which camper is mine, won't it? So that's another project. This obviously it's not going to get hung on the awning until I set the camper up, so you probably won't see that for a little while. But you'll know it's here, and I will probably demonstrate it once it's charged up, because it is solar. It's not charged right now because it's been in the box. So next up, yes, I got a lot of things for the camper. This right here is some lighting, and lights are very important. The other one, the rope light, it's basically a fun light. But this one, this is multiple lights inside this box. These are also solar, and these, each of them, if you can see this right here, this is a motion sensor, and each of them have a motion sensor on it. They're all LED lights, and these will be hung in strategic locations so that they come on so that I'm going to know if I'm walking up to the camper, it's going to be right there next to the door. It'll light my way. I might put a couple around the camper, and there's 4 of them in here. I might actually use one of them for the house, because it would be really nice when I'm coming up the stairs to be able to see where I'm going, and this would help substantially with that. So I'm going to set these up once the weather gets to be a little better, and I'm not going to install them on the camper until after I paint. And painting obviously is not going to get done in a New England winter. So it's going to happen sometime in the spring, hopefully before I start the fair season. And well, that's my goal. We'll see what happens. I have a lot of prep work to do before I can actually put paint on the camper. So we'll see how that goes. My goal is to have all of the paint done before mid-May. However, I do have a surgery coming up in March. So I am not sure how that's going to impact my ability to get the camper done. I'm getting one of my knees replaced, and I plan on pushing it a little bit so that I can recover a little faster. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm not done yet with all the things that I've gotten. So from the kids, I have gotten what I think is the most adorable coffee mug ever. And that's this one right here. So if you can see, it has a camper that goes all the way around. And of course, it's the color of mine. So I find this to be the most amazing mug because, as you can see, this is a good size mug and I love coffee. So it's perfect and I appreciate it so much, and I've been using it every single day. And speaking of coffee, there's one more. Okay, last but not least, I have received the cutest Keurig ever. Look at this thing. And it is so small, so compact. It is going to be perfect in that camper because it's not going to take up so much space. So I admit I've been using this in my house because I wanted to make sure it worked. And it works so well that I really, really enjoy it. So this particular Keurig, it doesn't have the big reservoir. It has this little reservoir. So you just fill it up as you need it. It holds 12 ounces in this little reservoir right here. So you put it in, you press the button. Well, you have to lift it up, put the pot in, press the button, and it brings all of that down into the chamber. It heats it up, and then it dispenses in here. And this down here, this comes out so you can put a travel mug in there and fill it right to a travel mug, which is really, really cool. So this is going to be really, really nice in the camper. It has a stowaway for the cord. So this slides right in here and it winds up right inside the unit, which is really, really nice. So it's going to be easy to transport when I bring it. And the actual end of the cord, I'm trying to show you here, the actual end of the cord folds right into here. So it's really, really compact and easy to carry around. So that is going to be a welcome addition to my camper kitchen. I think that's all that I got. I'm pretty sure it's all that I've got. So, like I said, the next project I've got a lot of painting to do. I'm going to prep the cabinet doors, which they need some sanding. They need some serious help before I can even put any paint on. So they have to be prepped, they have to be primed, then they have to be painted. Those are going to be painted a little bit different color than the rest of the inside of the camper to give it just a little bit of contrast. And so that is one of the projects coming up. And so I have the cabinet doors and I have all of the drawers. So there were, if you remember right, there are 6 drawers in the middle of the kitchen. And so all of those need to be done as well. And those were a little rough around the edges. So I had to take some of the actual the actual veneer off of some of those. So after that, of course, now you have a rough surface behind it. It needs to be smoothed out so that it looks pretty once it's painted. So that all has to get done. So those will get prepped, those will get sanded, those will get primed, and then they'll get painted. And those are going to get painted the same color as the cabinets. I am considering doing the closet doors the same color as the cabinet doors. So I'd love some feedback on that, actually. So if you could let me know if you think I should do the closet doors the same color as the walls, or the closet doors the same color as the cabinet doors. I'd love to hear what you think. And after that, I am going to start putting all of that stuff in the camper. So it's going to start coming together pretty fast. I have a couple of projects to do inside the camper that can be done in the winter, because I'm just going to take advantage of whatever days are not in the single digits. I am going to go down the camper and try to get some stuff done. I have to pull out the base for the table. I'm going to pull out of the floor because I'm not going to use the table. I've thought long and hard about it, and I am not going to use that tabletop. But I am going to set it off to the side. I might sell it. Who knows? I'll come up with some idea for it. But that table's not going to get used. So I'm going to take the base out of the floor, and I am going to pick up some of the laminate, either vinyl or laminate, the stuff that looks like a wood floor. And that's what I'm going to do the whole floor of the camper over in. So it's not going to have that ugly green old school flooring that it has right now. So that's going to get done. So I have to pull that out. I have to get all of the flooring down once I get the flooring. I have some ceiling work that I'm going to do. So I have a special idea planned for the main living area of the camper, and I am going to wait to let you know what that's going to be, because it's still being formulated in my mind. And I am going to put up a tin ceiling on the kitchen side. So that's going to be a bit of a project. Everything's going to obviously have to be cut just right to the size, and it's going to have its own set of challenges, I'm sure, but I think it'll look great when it's done. So that's the plan. And I have that whole bathroom to get done, so that I'm going to put the that tile that I showed you, the imitation tile that I have here, that's going into the bathroom area. I can't do the bathroom area really until I figure out what's going on for a toilet, because that's going to dictate what space that I have to work with and what I'm going to do in there. There's some idea that I have that I'm going to make the bottom part the tile, and I'm going to paint the top part, and I'm thinking I might paint the top part the same color as the cabinet doors. I'm not sure about that yet, so that's still formulating in my brain. And in that same area, if you remember right, I told you that it's the same area that has the circuit breaker box. So there's also the consideration that I am replacing the circuit breaker box eventually with a larger box, and I am going to incorporate some solar in the camper. So there'll be an inverter built in as well. So all of that stuff's going to have to go on the top part of the wall, which is part of my reasoning for not bringing the tile all the way up to the top. So at the most, it'll be halfway up on the walls. It probably might be a little lower than that when all is said and done, but we'll see how that goes. So I have to do some planning before I can get that done. And then I do have the city water to still hook up, but since it's winter, I'm not going to really do anything that has anything to do with water right now. So I have the new inlet for the water, and I have that pipe that I took out. I need to bring that to the RV store and see if I can get something that is going to match up so that I can replace that fairly easily. But like I said, I'm not going to replace that until after winter's over. So that can wait for a little while. Even if I get the part, it's not going to get installed until the springtime when it's a lot nicer out and I don't have to worry about anything freezing, because I'd like to test it, obviously, after I hook it up. So there's that. And then I have to figure out what to do about cushions in there. So I don't know if you can see, but behind me, do you see that couch back there? That couch is a futon, and it happens to be a full-size futon. And when I measured it out, that futon mattress is the exact same size as the back wall of my camper. So conceivably, I could take that, bring it down to the camper, and make that the main cushion for that back couch area for the lounge. And it could pull out with the pullout that's there and turn into a full-size bed. So I might bring that down, not when it's snowing out, but when it's nicer out, I might bring it down and give that a try and see what it looks like. And that might save me an awful lot of money and time in making new cushions for that back area. And that is a really, really comfortable mattress as well. So it would serve many, many purposes. And then all I'd have to do is make some side cushions for the little side areas of the lounge. And then I'm going to pick up some a couple of tray tables. You know, the wooden style tray tables that they have? I am going to pick up a couple of those. And the wooden tray tables they've got, they're like the TV trays that you can set up. They're folding and they don't take up that much space. So because they're lightweight, because they don't take up much space, I figured that might be a really good solution since I am taking the table out. So I might buy 2 or 3 of those and use those in place of the table only when I need the table. So they're out of the way when I'm not using them and they're there when I need them. So they would actually be able to tuck underneath the bed, I believe. So we'll see how that all pans out. I also am going to make a divider for the storage area. So there's a storage area underneath that back cushion where the cushion's going to go, this futon cushion that I'm going to try. That long back area, if you remember right, there's a door on the outside of the camper that has a lock on it, and that feeds into that area that goes all the way across. And what I would like to do is I would like to put a divider in so that area from outside only accesses a certain amount of that storage area and the rest of it stays unexposed to any of the elements, so that I can put things that are a little more prone to being damaged by the elements, still put them in there, things like blankets and all of that. And I think that that would be a really good solution for that sort of thing. So we'll see how that all pans out. That's my ultimate goal. I do have some work to do in that area anyway, because in that storage is where that water damage came. And all of that stuff for the water damage still needs to be tightened up a little bit. I ran out of time before the weather turned bad, so I did what I could in the time that I had, and then I sealed up everything for the winter, and then I'm gonna have to unseal it to get it all done properly before I go and bring this thing out on the road. And once spring hits, I am going to put on some new tires and wheels. I am going to repack the bearings, and maybe I'll find someone that has a hitch on their vehicle that can help me bring it out for a little bit of a test drive just to make sure that it's all right. So I have that planned in the future. There's a lot of big things coming. So I'm going to be really, really busy on this camper despite the fact that it is winter time. And like I mentioned earlier in this video, I am going to do all of the curtains. So the curtains for all the windows, I have the fabric here in the house. I'm going to go down to the camper first, of course, and I am going to double check all of the measurements, because it's always better to double, triple, maybe even quadruple check all of the measurements before you make curtains, because it'll save you a lot of hassle down the road. So I'm going to make sure all of the curtains are exactly the right size that I want. And I've got a total of, I have the back window, I have the side windows on each side of that lounge, I have the top window that went by where the bunk used to be, and then I have the window in front of the sink in the kitchen. So I have all those windows to cover, and I have enough fabric to do that without a problem at all. So I found a really, really, really good deal on some fabric, and I have some really cute ideas for it. So I'm going to do that, and I'll probably make a video out of how to make curtains really, really the easiest way possible for a camper, because I really don't want anything fancy. There's no reason to have something extremely fancy. I just want them to look cute and be functional. So that's what they will be. And I'm sure there's more on my punch list to get done, but that's quite a start of things to get done. So I've got a lot to do, and I hope you follow along with all of it. And I I am very, very sorry that I took such a long break. I really had some things that I needed to take care of, and now I'm back. So we're going to get started. We're going to get all this work done, and you'll be able to watch as I do it. So I want you to feel free to comment. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and keep watching. If you want to spread the word and tell others about it, I would be very, very, very happy. I'd love to be able to build this channel and make it into something really special. I am going to include, for all of these items that I have shown you today, I'm going to include links right here in the description for the video, and you're welcome to click on any of those links and go and purchase any of these things for yourself. If you have any questions about any of these things, I'm happy to answer them. You can comment anytime you want. You can message me directly. I'm happy to answer any questions that you've got. And if you think of some things that you haven't seen me address that you think, hey, Angela, you really, really need to do this, please, please, please let me know. I'd really appreciate it. And so that's my short update video for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we're going to get really busy very soon. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you keep watching Tiny Home Simple Life. Bye-bye.